Echo Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padre gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, they.
And good day, everybody. Welcome to the Talking Friars Padres versus Mets pregame show for June 6, 2022. I'm your host, Ben Fadden. The Padres open up a three-game set against the New York Mets tonight at 6:40 at Petco Park. It'll be Carlos Carrasco on the mound for the Mets. And then for the Padres side of things, it's going to be Blake Snell on the mound. I appreciate everyone for tuning on in here. You can follow the social media channels at Talking Friars on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Head on over to the Twitter account, by the way, at Talking Friars. I am running a giveaway. The winner will be announced tomorrow, probably in the middle of the day tomorrow. Giving away 3 seats to the Padres-Rockies game on Saturday at 1:10. That is the first game of the doubleheader. It's split admission, so it's not like you get that one ticket and you get into both, but you get into the first game, and there is going to be a giveaway that day as well for that game specifically. So head on over to the Twitter. The details are there of how to enter and all of that. And one of the steps is to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So I hope that you do that and you can knock out one of those steps right there. Let me know if you have any comments, any questions that you want answered. Feel free to leave them in the chat. Again, 6:40 is the first pitch tonight. If you want your voice heard on the show, by the way, on any episodes, just had one yesterday. My cousin Jacob was on, did a reaction with the Mets, or excuse me, with the Padres Brewers series. Just the last 2 games, really. The Musgrove extension. Eric Lauer was in the news talking about the Padres' development or lack thereof when he, reached the big leagues, and how he felt like the Padres didn't really care about him. So we talked about a lot, covered a lot. That's episode 178, available on this YouTube channel and on all the podcast platforms. So if you have not listened or watched that, I encourage you to do so. Covered the ticket giveaway and then some news. Alex, you're saying about Morahone. We can start there. Alex says Morahone's getting sent to AAA. He should be up by next month in his mind. Yeah, the Padres did announce that. Michel Baez, I believe he was with Lake Elsinore, and now he's with AA. And then Morahone was with AA. He's now in AAA El Paso. So looks like he's making his way up, and I would expect him. I mean, to be honest, it's early June. How long does he need to be in AAA? Like, what if he's comfortable and ready to be back by late June? I think he'd be ready by late June instead of pushing it back to July. Maybe that's just the plan that they always have, but that would be my guess is why not have him come back in June if he's ready. I don't know if he needs to spend a full month in AAA. If as long as he's showing that he's healthy, I think he'd be able to help out the team more than Steven Wilson, and that's what you should be judging it on, because he's not going to be in the rotation. So how can he do in the bullpen? What impact can he have in the bullpen? That's the question. And then Fernando Tatis Jr., some news there that just came out. He's not going to get the bone scan today. He is going to get it sometime later this week. I saw some reports out on Twitter a few moments ago that he does not know the specific day of when he's going to get the bone scan on his wrist. But from what I heard this past weekend, was that he was supposed to get the bone scan today. So I don't know why he can't get it today. He's the biggest athlete in the city, or most popular athlete in the city. I know Alex Morgan's up there, but he's the guy in the city. You would think that he'd be able to get a bone scan whenever he wanted to. So I don't really know why he can't get it today. But it seems like sometime near the end of the week is when that bone scan's actually going to be. And why am I bringing up the bone scan? Well, because the bone scan's huge in this rehab process, because if the Padres get what they want and they see what they want to see in this bone scan, then what that tells me, or what that tells them, is that Fernando's going to be ready to swing, and then that him being able to swing is a huge step in this process to returning, because so far right now he's been playing defense, he's been fielding, or that is defense, he's been base running, doing that sort of stuff. If he can start swinging, then that's where the full rehab process kind of starts, right? Because obviously he's gonna hit, he's gonna field, he's gonna do a bunch of stuff when he comes back. He's Fernando Tatis Jr. So that process can start the offense process once he gets that bone scan and the Padres get a result back that they want, a positive result that they didn't get back that previous bone scan. And once he gets or once the Padres get the result back, hopefully it's good, and then he'll be able to start hitting off it or start having dry swings, then hitting off the tee, then probably some flips in the cage, then batting practice, then live BP, and then probably a rehab assignment. I don't know how long that's going to take. I would assume a few weeks, and so I would think that it's early July, late June, I think is what the Padres are still hoping is when a turn is late June, but there's a lot of steps in terms of swinging, and I'd rather have him healthy and not push it and come back in early July than push it and you come back early and you're out again for another extended period of time because quite frankly, I'm tired of seeing Ha-Seong Kim play every day at shortstop, and it's nothing really against him. We know who he is. He can fill in. He's good defensively, but I obviously would rather have Fernando Tatis Jr. in the lineup than Ha-Seong Kim for the rest of the season when he returns. I don't want him to come back for a couple weeks, get hurt when maybe if he makes sure that he's okay, comes back maybe a little later than late June, and he'll be able to play the rest of the year. That's what I want. Hi Adam, I see that saying hello in the comments. Gian says the Padres will face the Mets and the Rockies at Petco. Padres' next road trip is the Cubs and the Rockies. Yep. All right. Moving to the pitching matchup today, Carrasco against Snell. Blake Snell entering today has a 4.80 ERA. His last start was against the Cardinals, went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. He's looked better, I think, as each start has gone on this year. He's built up already. I think he's gone over 100 pitches once. If not, it's in the 90s. I know that. Nick Martinez pitched out of the bullpen yesterday, so he's not going to pitch today, obviously. So you could be seeing a Snell Stammen combination. And we'll get to the bullpen chart. Taylor Rogers probably won't be available tonight. Maybe he has gone back to back to back days, I think a couple times this year already. But that's just the first glance at the bullpen, and we'll get to that. For Carlos Carrasco, he has a 3.63 ERA. His last start, he shut out the it wasn't the Dodgers. I forget who it was his last start, but he went 5 innings, no earned runs. He's had 3 bad starts, but the rest of them have been pretty solid. He's probably going to go 5 innings, at least 5 innings. He's gotten at least 5 innings in most of his starts, just looking at his game logs last night. So it seems like it's going to be a pretty even pitching matchup. Both guys might give up like 3 runs, and then you send it over to the bullpens. But yeah, Carrasco and Snell, it feels like they're getting better and better as the season goes on, and as they continue to build up those innings and build up those starts. All right, getting to the bullpen situation for the Padres today. Taylor Rogers has obviously pitched back-to-back days, so he's probably not going to be available. 20 pitches in the last 2 days. Garcia has a day off, or had a day off yesterday. Hill definitely not available. Suarez, they'd probably want to stay away from. So I think Martinez obviously is not eligible. But with this bullpen, just kind of trying to construct this game plan and kind of pitching path to victory, if you will, after Snell. You would think that Stammen comes in, Chris Matt gets some action, and then Garcia closes it out. And Steven Wilson, I mean, the guy hasn't pitched in forever. So you would think that eventually he's going to get in. Is today that day? With Rogers being down, you had an extra pitcher in there. Is Wilson that guy? I don't know. Um, Chris Matt, they're comfortable with him pitching in these high leverage situations. So I definitely think that you could see him. But yeah, I feel like Chris Matt or Garcia would close it out tonight. And Steven Wilson and Craig Stammen have good chances of pitching. I said that the other day with Steven Wilson, but then he didn't go. And that's why it continues to makes me kind of scratch my head like, why is Steven Wilson still on the roster if he's not going to pitch? Like, they sent down Brent Rooker, who they brought up for like 2 days. He didn't even play when they could just send down Steven Wilson. He's not playing. Like, he's not pitching. I don't understand why he's still on the roster if they're not going to use him. Again, they might use him tonight, but I've been saying that I feel like for a couple days now. All right, getting to the lineups. Don't know if the Mets lineup's out. It's not as of now. I don't think so. Let me reload this. It is out. Okay. So Nimmo's leading off. Marte, Lindor, Alonso. He's hit 19 homers so far this year, I believe. Canna, J.D. Davis. I think I saw from a Mets writer that it's his first start at first base or something, at least this season. Eduardo Escobar, the former Twin. Jeff McNeil hitting 8th. Tomas Nido hitting 9th. I mean, the key with this lineup, this Mets lineup, is can you keep Brandon Nimmo off the base paths, and then can you silence Pete Alonso, at least power-wise, and kind of minimize the damage that he has, right? And then for the Padres lineup, Profar, Crony, Manny, Voit, Hosmer, Kim, Mazzara back in there at right field, batting 7th, and then Alfaro hitting 8th, Grisham hitting 9th. Not a surprise with this lineup here. Carrasco's a righty, so you got lefty with Grisham in center field. Mazzara, the lefty, gets in the lineup. Kim in there. Not a surprise, anything else. Profar's been doing pretty well at leadoff spot. As the games have gone on, I've kind of liked that, and it's not like they really have another option. I mean, Cronenworth is a leadoff option, but I don't know if they want Profar hitting second. I think they like him hitting leadoff over hitting second right in front of Manny. Yeah, those are the lineups. Not a whole lot to talk about there. My Padre pick today, by the way, is Jake Cronenworth. Yesterday, I picked Manny. He went 0 for 5, so a rare 0 for him. So I'm 32-17 so far this season in my pregame show Padre pick. My what to watch first for today, Snell and the walks, obviously. I think he had 3 walks his last time out. Might have been 2. But just can those walks, like, he's going to walk guys, I feel like. But can he stay away from having those walks come around to score, right? Compounding those mistakes. So that's something to watch for. Mazzara is starting. Can the Padres slow down Pete Alonso? Has a 160 OPS plus, I think, entering today. 16 home runs. For some reason, I thought he had 19. He has 16. And then the battle of 2 great managers, Bob Melvin and Buck Showalter. I was mentioning this to Jacob yesterday on the series reaction episode, Brewers Padres, and it's kind of like previewing the series. Yeah, Buck and Bob, they don't play each other, or they play each other, but they're not on the field. We're not like focused on them. But these are 2 great managers that definitely have a feel for their teams, and they know what they're doing. So it'll kind of be interesting to see how they navigate the bullpens and if they do any pinch hit situations or defensive replacements, and see how those situations work out. I was listening to New York radio for a few minutes today just to see what they thought of the Padres and all that, and they were talking about how their last series that they played against the Dodgers, I think it was yesterday's game, they had Edwin Diaz pitch the 8th inning, I think, because those were the best hitters in the Dodger lineup. So they had that as the save situation. I think Lugo couldn't get out in the 9th, and the Dodgers then tied it. They ended up winning in extras. But it's just those little things to look out for. Does Buck go with Edwin Diaz or his closer in the prototypical ninth inning? Or do you do a Josh Hader type situation or, an Andrew Miller type situation when he was back with the Indians years and years ago, where the closer pitches to the highest leverage guy. The highest leverage situations is where he pitches. When Manny and Cronenworth are coming up, he pitches there. Maybe that's not in the ninth inning, but you get what I'm saying. Maybe he pitches there. So that's something to watch for with the managerial chess, if you will. I already said I'm picking Crony today for my Padre pick. Some news and notes around Major League Baseball. Dallas Keuchel was picked up on a minor league deal by the Diamondbacks. Not a whole lot there. Maybe he'll produce, maybe he won't. Some interdivision action today. It's a light day. There's no Arizona's the only other team in the National League West playing other than the Padres. Again, first pitch for the Padres here is at 6:40 at Petco Park. The first of 6, I believe, on this homestand. Play the Rockies this weekend. And Arizona's in Cincinnati. I think they're just getting underway. Yordan Alvarez won the Player of the Week for the American League last week, and then Brendan Rodgers took home the National League Player of the Week. The power rankings, kind of a lazy article, lazy idea. Anyone that does that, because what are you really judging it on? Are you really looking into it that deeply? Or are you just looking at the record and you're looking at the star players on their team and all that? But MLB.com has the Yankees as number 1, best record in baseball. They have the Dodgers as number 2, despite not having the best record in the National League. That belongs to the Mets. They're 37-19. The Astros are 4th. The Brewers are 5th. And the Padres come in at 7th behind the Blue Jays. I believe the Padres, I think is what they're saying, that they were 5th last week on the power rankings. And it's understandable. They went 3-4 on the road trip. Wait, 3-4? Yeah. They got swept by the Cardinals. They took 3 out of 4 to the Brewers, or in the Brewers series. Yeah, Jonathan, yep, I see the comment here. Tatis's bone scan not until later this week. I talked about that earlier if you guys are just tuning in. Again, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Head over to the Twitter account at Talking Friars for the giveaway that I'm doing. I will announce it tomorrow. All the rules, how to be eligible at Talking Friars on Twitter, giving away 3 tickets to the Padres-Rockies game this Saturday at 1:10. So head on over to the Twitter. You can do it right now. You can do it after I'm done here. Just going to finish up with some comments here that I see in the chat and answering any questions that come across. But feel free, head over to the Twitter account and make sure to be eligible for the giveaway. And I'll be announcing that, be selecting it at random. And by the way, I'm going to be looking. There's some people that reply that said, I've subscribed. I'm going to look to make sure that you did and that you are following at Talking Friars, because that's one of the requirements as well. Let's see here. Alex says, do you think maybe if Tatis had setbacks or they won a little longer, could you see the Padres trading for a veteran shortstop or second baseman, I think is what he's asking? Maybe someone cheap. I don't. They already tried the second baseman thing with Cano. That didn't work out. Kim is good defensively, and can be okay at times offensively. They have Sergio Alcantara on the roster. They seem to love him. So, no, I don't see that. CJ Abrams, I don't think they're going to call up to play shortstop. But if they absolutely need him to, they can. We've seen him make some dazzling plays in El Paso recently. But he's down there to get at bat. So I don't think that's an option. But even with that said, I still think that Hassan Kim will just be the shortstop. Cronenworth can play there if they need him to. I don't think that they would trade or acquire a veteran shortstop. I don't really think there's a point to that, to be honest. Long Ball Prod says his prediction for Snell, 4 1/3 tonight, 2 earned runs, 86 pitches, 3 walks, 4 hits. I'd like to see less walks than 3, but maybe that's expecting too much from Snell. 4 1/3, that might be a little disappointing. I want him to at least get through 5 tonight. I want to see that, especially because I just don't know how the Padres are going to attack the bullpen after this, because Rogers probably won't be available. I think Suarez that pitched yesterday? I think I saw that I put the bullpen chart that I put out recently on Twitter and on Instagram. So I think you're going to see Wilson, Garcia, Stammen, some type of that situation there, combination. And then who was I going to say? Chris Matt could pitch as well. You just don't. There's uncertainty there with Wilson and then with Stammen if he's going to be on his night. So I'd like to see Snell go 5 at least. Just get as many outs as you can. But I'm not saying that that's a terrible line. Like, at the end of the day, what matters is how many runs you give up. You give up 2 runs, you're still keeping your team in the game with the Padres offense, you know? So I wouldn't be mad about that line. I'd still like him to get through 5, though. Yeah, Gil says Wilson will get replaced by Jose Castillo. Castillo's gone like 14, 15 outings without giving up an earned run. He's sitting 95 with his fastball right now. Yeah, Castillo's doing really, really well. And Adrian Morejon is now in AAA, so that's going to be an option probably in a few weeks. So I think Castillo and Morejon will probably be on the roster at some point this year. I don't know if it's going to be together, but those guys are definitely options. Again, I just don't know why Wilson's on the team if they're not going to pitch him. Kirsten likes Mazzara, I think is their Padre pick. John says, can the Padres catch up to the Dodgers? I think they can. They played them competitively last year with Tatis. They have better starting pitching than they did last year. They still have a good closer. Those games are going to be close with the Dodgers. I think they can catch up to them, and they're going to be competitive with the Dodgers. I think that if they win the games and continue to win the games that they can, there's no reason why they can't, right? Especially with Walker Buehler sucking the last couple outings the way he has. It's great to watch a home run derby every couple days or every 5 days when Walker Buehler's out there. Longball says, do you think the Padres will pinch hit Mazzara early like they have for his other 2 games? Depends on the matchup. If Carrasco stays in there for 6 innings, no. If a lefty comes in out of the Mets pen, probably maybe you have a Zokar pinch hit for him like we've seen the last couple games when Mazzara has started, right? So it feels like the Padres are dead set on him only facing righties, which I don't agree with because he hit everyone in the minor leagues this year. Give him a chance. That's my viewpoint on it, but feels like the Padres are having him platoon and have him face righties. Let's see here. Kirsten says trade for more pitching, also good arms coming back soon. I don't think they're going to trade for more pitching. Starting pitching, definitely they're not going to do that unless people get hurt. That would be really bad. That's a bad worst case scenario. And then for the bullpen, I don't think it would be wise for them to trade to get more relievers when they have relievers coming back that are pitching in the minor leagues right now. Castillo, Baez, Morejon, guys like that. And Martinez is going to continue pitching in the bullpen. So I don't think there's a need to trade for bullpen arms because they have that in the minor leagues coming back. Longball says, when will Will Myers come back? We don't know. I think it's going to be more than the 10 days that he's on the IL just because the gels, the injections that he was receiving weren't working. And with the knee, they're probably going to want to be safe. And with the Zokar, the way he's playing, is tip your cap to Zokar. He has been playing well. I think they're confident in Mazzara. With against right-handed pitching, they are. Obviously, they're not really that confident in him against lefties because he hasn't faced a lefty up at the big league with the big league team so far. But yeah, answering that Myers question, I don't know yet. We don't know. Gil, I hope you're joking here. Bueller, Gratterall, Muncy, my favorite players ever. Yeah. I hate Muncy. I hate Gratterall and Bueller. yeah, I'd love to have him on my team. He's a good pitcher, but he's on the Dodgers, and so whenever he sucks, it's amazing to see. Any more questions, comments before we get out of here? Again, 6:40 is the first pitch. Padres, Mets. Carrasco on the mound for the Mets. Blake Snell on the mound for the Padres. Uh, Again, I have the giveaway, the ticket giveaway, Padres Rockies 110 on Saturday, giving that away tomorrow. So head on over to the Twitter at Talking Friars to make sure you're eligible for that giveaway, and I'll be giving away that at random. Let's see. I'm not going to the game today, Lakeum. No, I should be going Wednesday though, and I should be going Friday, I think. All right. Alex says Padres also have Yusmeiro Petit. Good point. Yeah. Yusmeiro Petit also in the minors if they want to bring up another bullpen arm. I talked to Tim Haggerty about that last week, and I'm not really sure what their plan is with him. I thought he'd be up already, but he also didn't have a spring training. So maybe there's another couple weeks before they bring him up. But again, they add him to another pretty decent sized list of guys with Michelle Baez and Jose Castillo. Drew Pomerantz is another one. That's later though. But yeah, Morhone. Those are definitely guys that could come up and help the team. Yeah. All right. I think that's going to do it. Thank you for watching the Padres Mets pregame show for June 6, 2022. I'm Ben Fadden signing off. Enjoy the game. Have a good Monday night, and I'll see you later.